Well, what's going on, guys? So I posted my last net worth update about a month and a half ago on July 13th. Now, before getting to the journey, I just want to thank everyone who has subscribed, liked, and commented on my videos up until this point. This Albion channel actually has been my fastest growing YouTube channel so far, and I appreciate all the continued support. If you are interested in following the journey as I attempt to reach the 1 billion silver mark, feel free to subscribe. Right now, 11% of you guys are subscribed, but it'd be great if we could get that over 20%. On this channel, I try new silver making methods, including market flipping, gathering, refining, and most recently, I started with leather jackets. So kind of just trying a bunch of different things and seeing what's most interesting. Not necessarily just doing one or two things that will be most profitable. I want to kind of diversify and eventually get into like PvP and all that once I reach my 1 billion silver mark. All right, so we've gotten that intro out of the way. Now on to the Albion journey. So I've always liked playing MMOs with player-based economies. However, I'm someone who likes to play most games solo. Without getting into a guild and doing raids, I found it was nearly impossible to get high-end gear solo, especially in WoW where most top-end gear was bind on pickup. I was able to gather, craft, and do market flipping to make in-game currency in these games like Guild Wars and WoW. However, I could never acquire the top-tier gear solo without being in a decent guild. So I came across Albion Online. It's a game that caught my interest due to a complete player-driven economy and the ability to acquire any piece of equipment you can afford. I also enjoy the fact that it's not completely pay to win because you still need the required spec level to actually wear the gear you acquire. So you can't just buy your way to tier 8. You need to play a decent amount. So after I got bored of classic WoW, I decided to try out Albion for the first time in January 2023. I made my character and did the tutorial where I gathered as much stone, rough stone, as I could carry and sold it at the Martlock market when I arrived. This earned me enough silver to afford a decent T4 bow and leather armor set. Now, being that I started the channel in April, I really don't have any video footage of my character with this tier 4 gear for January, February, and most of March because I wasn't even sure if I was going to make this channel, which is, I guess, luckily for you guys because all I basically did was gather ore until I was able to afford my first month of premium. I could have very well just purchased the month of premium with actual money, but I wanted to challenge myself to see how difficult it would be to be successful as a solo free-to-play player. In addition, people in chat kept begging for silver as they either lost all their gear in PvP or were complaining that the premium cost was too high, or maybe they were just bots. I wasn't sure, but I figured if I was able to earn and keep premium going forward with minimal effort, I could share what I learned on YouTube and hopefully others would benefit from it. So I'm not going to lie, gathering and selling ore as the solo means to earn silver and purchase my first month of premium was probably the longest grind of my life. Gathering with tier 3, tier 4 pickaxe with basically zero spec and without premium was pretty torturous. I mean, there's times it was relaxing, but doing it as the only activity got very, very boring. But once I earned premium, I was able to apply those learning points towards getting tier 5, tier 6, and things got a bit quicker and easier. I was able to earn more like 300 to 500k an hour in yellow zones. I did a little bit of red zone, but still inexperienced in PvP and getting ganked and all that kind of stuff. But still, with premium costs rising every month, I knew gathering wasn't a sustainable way to keep premium each month. So I was nearing the end of February at this point, and I decided to take the few million silver I had on hand after I paid for premium and try out market flipping for the first time. Because I did do it in other MMOs, that I just didn't do it in Albion. Because there were so many items and the learning curve was so steep. But once I started earning like 100 to 200,000 silver per day, I knew there was potential for more, and it didn't take too long. It was just tedious updating the orders, but it didn't take too long time-wise to actually update the buy and sell orders every day. So I earned my second month of premium by gathering and market flipping, and by mid-March, I made sure to always have at least a few million on hand, if not more, to market flip with it before buying a third month of premium. I continued to gain a better understanding of which items I could flip so I could be as efficient as possible with my silver. And by end of March, I decided to make this YouTube channel. Being that there are not too many market flippers or yellow zone ore gatherers, YouTubers, I figured it may be interesting to some people. In addition, I thought it'd be fun to look back at my progress and see how far I'd come into my Albion journey. After about a week of posting my first video, I received over 7,000 views and a ton of positive comments of people wanting to follow the journey and learn more. Some veteran players also shared tips that I learned from, which made making the videos even more informative for myself as well as for other new players, which was great. This, along with the fact that Albion released a new East server, made me change my course a bit. So I decided to create a new Zero to Hero character and see how fast I could earn premium. Many new players were asking how they could afford premium without paying actual money. Instead of explaining what I did on my previous character, I thought it'd be easier to start from scratch and show them that way. So I decided to go with skinning and stone refining, as most people requested I start a character in Bridgewatch. And I was curious myself to see how fast I can get premium on a new character with the in-game knowledge I'd gained in the first few months of playing. So after mainly skinning and market flipping in Bridgewatch, I was able to earn premium in approximately 20 days of real time, 48 hours of in-game time. And for most of April and May, I continued leveling up stone refining on the Zero to Hero character. And up until this point, I hadn't really done any refining or crafting. By May 12th, I finally maxed my tier 7 stone specs, which earned me 30 million per month. Considering it only takes about 10 minutes a day to focus refine, this was so much more efficient than gathering my way to premium every month. So it was a big step up. And I was excited to try more focus type activities like refining other things such as hide and eventually crafting, which I will show at the end of this video. So as I posted videos of my progress, I received comments saying that hide refining was more profitable than stone refining. So with my extra learning points on my main character, I started leveling up my hide refining specs. Plus I was in Martlock, so that was the bonus, so it worked out. Honestly, this was a lot more expensive to level up than stone refining, but the thought of being able to earn 100 million per month just by focus refining hide kept me motivated. Nearing the end of May, I reached 300 out of 500 spec on hide refining, and that would be maxing out fully tier 6. And this was earning about 60 million a month. Basically almost double what the stone refining was at max spec. So between market flipping, gathering, refining stone and hide, I reached my 100 million silver goal while still being able to afford premium each month on both characters. By July 13th, I'd maxed out my stone refining spec, which was now earning me 40 million to 50 million every month, depending on the stone and stone block prices. Minimum 30 million, even if I was just buying it out from Bridgewatch, the stone, and then refining it and selling the stone block in Bridgewatch, like if I wasn't transporting it all. So no, even if I was just doing it in one location, I was still earning premium with minimal effort. In addition, I had reached my next goal of 200 million silver combined across both characters. From mid-July to mid-August, I tried some black zone gathering, some red zone transporting, and realized I hadn't been faction flagging during my yellow zone gathering sessions either, which was a helpful comment that people made on the YouTube channel. But I did miss out on millions of silver because I didn't do that, and I kind of forgot about it over the first few months of playing. But thank you for reminding me. So don't make the same mistake I did. Anyway, by August 16th, I had fully maxed my hide refining. It was now earning over 100 million in profit from hide refining alone. Any extra silver I acquired, I invested right back into my market flipping so I could flip more expensive items such as elite mounts and tier 6 gathering tomes. This brings us to present day, where I recently just started a third character in Thetford to try and profit from crafting leather jackets. As of now, I purchased my first premium on this character from profits earned from my first 2 characters. However, so far this third character is too low spec to earn me any profit on leather jackets. Just as it was with hide, it will probably take me millions of silver and learning points before I even break even, but I think that's just how the game works. You know, if you're willing to invest more time and money in, you should be getting more profit because there's less people who are willing to do it, which means less competition, which means higher prices for those particular things, such as leather, like high-end leather. And that's what I've noticed, and this is kind of why I love this whole player-driven economy. Supply and demand. So, in any case, that was my quick summary of my Albion journey over the last 7 months of how I went from 0 to earning over 200 million in silver, plus all the months of premium over the past few months. I probably spent over maybe 200 million between the 2 accounts and now my third account with premium. But I still have, net worth on these characters of over 200 million. So I'll now go over the total value of each of my 3 characters, as well as the future goals for each of them as I continue to work my way towards the 1 billion and trying out as many different methods of silver making as possible, and eventually getting into more of the PvP and red zone and black zone. Next, I will go into each character and explain how much silver I have. I'm actually interested because I haven't done this. I canceled all my orders. I'm going to see truly how much silver I have between what I have in my stashes and character silver on hand. And I will have to spend more money on premium again, but it'll be nice to see what I'm at right now. So I'll see you guys in a second once I load up Albion. Alright guys, so we're on my main character I started with back in early January, and right now I'm at 74 million silver on hand, and I'm actually just going to go ahead and cancel my sell orders that I have just so I can see what I have. So I got 6 million here in market value, as well as equipment, which is totaling almost 10 million. So I'll just say I'll round that, or round it down to, let's say 15 million between the two. And that's a total of 89 million. I do have some orders here. Let me just cancel them for the time being. It's not much. Okay, so between what I have right here and on hand, that's 89 million. And now I'm going to go into my stash because I'm curious to know what I have in like gear and all that kind of stuff. So in my bank here, I have all my my normal like combat gear, my tier 8 that I just use to level up my leather specs when I go fighting different types of group mobs and things like that. Not in the red zone because I don't want to lose my stuff, or black zone. But let's say that's another 20 mil. Let's put that's at 109. Nothing in the gather tab. Nothing really in the stone tab. I use this to get buy orders on this character because stone is cheap, and then I transfer over. Not necessarily travertine. I don't know why I have so much, but more so like tier 8, tier 7, higher enchanted stone that I could transfer to my zeroed hero character and refine and bridge watch. And then I have 32 million in hide and some leather as well, because I do how much focus do I have? I do focus hide refining, as I mentioned in this video, earning me about 100 million plus a month. So it's nice getting the buy orders and transporting them away from Bridgewatch, because that's hide's the primary resource there. It's cheapest, and then bring it here, refine it, and then I've most recently been transporting this to my my new leather jacket character in Thetford. I'll show at the end of this video, or I'll just sell it if I'm low on silver. But for this case, I have a total of 141 million on this character. I'm continued to being that I'm max spec now on hide refining. I want to, and I'm tier 8 stone gathering and tier 8 ore mining. But one of my goals is to just try to get this as much as possible to see truly how much I could earn. I think I earned like a 900 to a million a month in gathering. I made a video on that in yellow zone. So I want to see, like, before I go to red zone or black zone, truly how much I can make with my high-end gear per hour if I can get these specs up as high as possible for ore gathering and stone mainly. And then I also have tier 6 in lumberjack. So those are some of my goals. I have some learning points that are accumulating, and then eventually get more involved into my leather specs and claws just because I like them. I know they're not ideal for PvP, some may say, not much mobility, but I just like them. So some of my goals. And yeah, these are all my leather jacket specs. I maxed out Hellion jacket because I like that AoE, this lifesteal aura, which does more damage based on how many enemies are, so it's good for group killing of mobs. Alright, so that's the character. I have 141. I'm going to go back, log out, and go to my second character, and I'll be back. Alright guys, so I just made it to my Zero to Hero character, which is stationed in Bridgewatch, and this is the one that I started with skinning, and also maxed this stone refining. Now I'm forgetting where the, there we go, skinning. So right now I'm not even close to tier 8, so I'm going to use my 2,000 or so learning points I accumulated to eventually get to tier 8 for that. So that's just going to be one of my goals now that I have all these learning points. I just haven't gotten around to it because I've been working on my other character with leather jacket crafting and transporting. But in any case, I have 71 million on this character here. And do I have anything in order? A couple sell orders, dungeon map, not much. And then I have like 6.8 million. Let's just say 7 million. That's 78 million on this character right now. And again, I only have like 14 hours of premium left, so I'm going to have to spend another 40 million for my other 2 characters on premium. Actually, maybe 60 million because in 10 days my 3rd character runs out. But in any case, I'm just doing the current snapshot. Here we have like 600,000. Here we have about 6 million of stone block. And stone, I do the opposite, so I do buy orders in Martlock because stone's cheapest there, and then I transport it over here. I pick up any hide, I bring it back to my other character in Martlock. But right now I have 12 million on hand, which totals 96 million, and then some travertine. And usually I have some hide here, but I don't. So right now we're looking at 96 million on this character, 141 on the other, so that's like 230. And as I mentioned, I'll be using skinning on this character. I just have so many learning points, and continuing to maintain premium by focus refining stone. Okay, now I will go to my 3rd character that I've been working on, and I'll show you my plan for that. Alright, so we made it to my 3rd and final character on this that I have in Albion. And on hand I have 2.8 million. Market value of all of my leather is about 11 million. And I've as I got to I'll show you my current specs here of my leather jacket. So I most recently, the good thing about just buying premium for the first time, I have 14 days left, but you get, I believe it's not showing here, but I think 500 learning points if it's your first premium. So that was a huge boost for me, plus the 30 I get passively every day for the month. But it allowed me to craft enough that with the transported leather that I got from my first character from Martlock, I maxed out the first leather thing. So I get max on focus cost efficiency for all leather jackets and 75 increase in quality for all. Plus I could craft everything up into tier 8. Now what I'm working on right now is trying to get all these to 30 before I make a video on this, because when I craft it's a little bit profitable, but it's maybe like, I don't know, 1,000 silver a day, which is not really anything. But at least I'm more than breaking even right now. So right now I got all these to 30. Up to Hellion. Now I got to work on Spectre, Mistwalker, and Tenacity. So just because like each of these gives focus cost efficiency to all the other ones. So once I get to 30, I'm going to work on a spreadsheet. 30 for all these. I'm going to work on a spreadsheet to see ideally which is the best leather jacket to craft, because I'm not sure between like the prices of all these. It's not as straightforward as it's like stone refining, where it's like stone, you refine it, and then you get stone block. These have like multiple things other than the leather that you use. So for example, and I'm going to go to, I don't know, let's check out Mistwalker jacket. So this not only requires 16 worked leather of whatever, enchanted leather you want. It also takes this like special item. This one happens to be Adept's Untarnished Griffin Feather. So this costs about 100,000 each one. So it's very expensive to actually craft. Early on I thought it was relatively easy because these first few don't really require. But as you get to these later ones, they require these extra type of items. So this one is for Hellion jackets. This Demon Hide leather, which is... What? No, it can't be. Oh, this is for 4 of them. This is 43,000, which is still pretty expensive. The leather folds, 4,500. and this is for the stalker jacket, so not too bad. So it got increasingly more expensive as I got further down the line of these jackets. And the funny part is, like, they don't, like, this one gives 15 bonus to focus cost efficiency, while this one for all leather jackets, and this one gives 30, and it's much cheaper to craft. So I think once I hit 30 on these, I'm going to try to get these up as high as possible because it's relatively cheaper. They don't require these extra, I don't even know what you would call them. Piece of an ancient and powerful weapon. Piece of an ancient. I don't know. It's just like an extra material that you need to craft these jackets. So I'm going to do my best to get those all to 30 spec, but it's going to be pretty expensive to do that. So what I'm going to do now, let me just update. I have enough of these. I have enough of the ghastly leather. I don't have enough of the augured stash and the tarnished feather. So, I mean, I save like, I don't know, 9,000 silver for putting buy orders in. And this one I do have actually an order, but it just, I was outbid. Alright, so update that. I still have 2 million on hand. I will also sell these. Looks like they were not purchased. But anyway, like on hand I have between this character and the last one I just did was 110. And my first character is 141. So between the two accounts right now, I'm at about 250 million silver. I do have to afford or buy premium again in 14 days on this one. And then in like 1 day for the other character. And then my first character is already expired. So that would bring me down to like 190. But at this point I'm at total of 250 million. And I should be able to accumulate a lot more over the next month with premium because I can focus refine. I'm already at max spec for stone refining and leather refining. And this leather jacket one, after about, what, a month or so of leveling this up and focus refining and using my learning points, I'm finally somewhat breaking even because I could tell when I craft and I focus refine, this number doesn't go down. It goes up a little bit. So real quick for this character, let me see if there's any cheap. Okay, so this one's only 400 for the nutrition cost. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see here. So I have, just for the sake of this video, I'm going to go ahead and craft, let's say, a Hellion jacket. What is my current spec? I think I just hit 30 on this one, just to show you guys. And I think this is the one I finally started breaking even on. So I'm going to focus refine this. Luckily I have a lot of these. Well, actually I don't have much of the demon head leather. I have more so for the stalker jacket. In any case, let's see. So I'm at 11.6. So I make like 10,000 per like 1,500 focus, which is not good, but it's better than going negative every time I craft something. And this one was an outstanding one, so this is worth actually 10,000. They're about the same. And then if I were to craft, let's say, a stalker jacket, let's see what that would give us. A little bit less focus required, 1474, because I'm at a higher spec. And let's say 11, 654, 2. Okay, so that's another like 15,000 or so for a good quality stalker jacket. So overall, it's nice to see. This is, eventually will be profitable. Right now, it's not too profitable. At least I'm breaking even. But going back to the main point of this video, with this character, I have about 13 or so million. Other character closer to 100 million, and then my first character about 141 million. So combined about 250 million across the accounts. I will continue to refine on both other characters, craft leather jackets on this one, and I really want to get to tier 8 skinning just to see how much I could earn with that a month, because everyone says like that's the best gathering profession. I kind of agree, because you get the baby drops, the tome drops, and the hide. But I also want to see how much I could earn maxing out ore and stone refining. Once I get to like the peak of yellow zone gathering, then I'll start trying out black zone, red zone, because I'm sure it'll be more profitable. I just wanted to do the challenge for myself to see how far I could push it. All right, so I think this video is long enough. I will be doing like an hour-long gathering video too, because people have requested it. But for now, I just wanted to, being at the end of the month and I have to afford premium, I thought it was a good time to provide this update of how I got to 250 million in about 7 months. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to let me know below. And thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe and like this video. Thanks.